be sure that, yep, that button took. And some slight issues with my Stream Deck. Also eating a Pop-Tart because, I don't know, it was here. Oh no, I'm not going to have time for dinner. I do need that. That's part of the pumpkin card. Okay. So let's grab that and add it to the group. And now they're part of the group. All right. So today we're making this because I couldn't decide which of the 3 autumn themes to go with. Let's see. It says to separate my layers to figure out what I'm doing. So let's start with an ungroup. And another ungroup. Okay. Red, dark orange, and a goldenrod and yellow. Okay. I'd planned burlap paper and green dotted paper. And I want to use Encore for these, but maybe the Michaels for this because it's less fiddly. I don't think that looks less fiddly. Okay, so I left myself a nice plan. There we go. And now there's a crumb on my desk. Oh, hi, baby cat. I thought I heard purring down there. You enjoying your under the desk place to lay? All right. Oh, we know right off the bat we are not using these colors. That is the only red that came with this sampler pack. So we're using it. Peach is a no. That's kind of goldenrod. That's the orangest thing that ever oranged. We've got a choice of yellows. I'll leave them both there. Nothing else in this stack is good for this project. And now let's fetch, I said, the green dotted texture and the burlap print paper from my go back pile. And this is the one that has that neat trick, isn't it? Yeah. So what I have is my burlap square also has a, let me just show it, has an outline, a score line like that. These score lines are going to get cut off, but the 2 side ones are going to be there, and they're going to help me visually line up where this green goes. And now that I've thought of that, you know what else I'm going to do? We're going to do this. Highlight the whole mess. Align, center. Grab the leaf. Copy and paste it so that I don't muck it up. Score. All right, now I want that score line that's already highlighted. There it is. And I want the green. Let's attach them. All right. So now we just delete my notes. No. Yeah, there. Okay. Deleted everything. And say make. All right. Okay. Then we're going to explicably go to the burlap. And back to that. And then to the green. All right. This is looking good. So let's click continue. These pieces are easy to see the colors of on the screen, so I won't worry about them. Sometimes when it's hard to tell which is which, or when I have to use like stand-in colors because the app doesn't have anything like what I've got, or I changed my mind, then I stack them up in order. But I don't feel the need to do that today. Oh, dropped the bread. Oh, I'm sorry, kitty. It's okay. Scaring my cat. This mat is starting to lose its stick. I don't feel like getting another one out just yet. And this is cardstock for intricate cuts. And we're going to give it a little extra pressure because I don't think it's quite as fresh a blade as I would like. But just in case, we're going to use the foil trick. This does not sharpen your blade. It knocks any debris off. It may help knock any burrs off. It may not. Okay, this is like, this little tin was perfect for this, but maybe I shouldn't close it all the way if it's that hard to reopen. So we just push the button to reveal the blade all the way, do this, and I use a tin so that I don't accidentally stab myself, because we all know I would. All right, and in we go. And while we wait, we will get another autumn-themed card going. I was doing blue stamps on this. I have a ton of stamp inks that a friend gave me when she got out of the card making business. I should probably get like some little stamp pads so I can use some of them because they're lovely inks and I only have 5 choices. Maybe we hop onto Amazon in a little bit and see about that. There are better ways to store stamps, but that one's paid for. So now we have our greeting card. Ready for once we get everything cut. My phone to complete that sale. Yep. Deliver to my place sooner so I can use it on the Sunday stream if I do a Sunday stream. That's unlikely, but you know. Place your order. There we go. One more thing to add to my business expenses. Oh, getting towards the end of the year. Better start getting those organized. My accountant doesn't want to go hear me say, I've got a list in my head somewhere. Oh, I got a funny one. A few months ago, probably nearly a year ago now when I started this idea, I bought one of those little box photo studios to be able to photograph my products for Etsy very nicely. And I very quickly realized it kind of sucks because it's one of those, you can fold it down, but it's going to take you a while. It's kind of like a tent. You don't really want to have to fold your tent down every single morning. You want to fold it up and then take it down at the end of the trip. So that was not working real well in my tiny office. So I got a new one that does fold down well, easily, not just for when you need to travel, but any old time. Works brilliantly. I love the backgrounds it came with, but now I'm stuck with this situation where I've got to figure out how to photograph my photo setup so that I can try to sell the old one to somebody who will appreciate it more than I did. Also, I'm just now realizing I put a bunch of stuff for sale on OfferUp earlier, and I totally could have used some of the photo studio on some of it, instead of just like holding up in my hand against a blank wall. Anyway, this is the saga of, you know, my random office. All right, dark orange. Hello, new viewer. There's dark orange. If you were here with me the whole time, you've noticed I have one more yellow than needed. It's because I'm still not sure which one these are going to look better on. But we're cutting out everything but the yellow first so I can pile it on both and see what I think. Sometimes it's better not to make a decision until later. Please hang in there a little longer, Matt. I don't want to climb up the closet to get a new one. So we have one part of our leaf. And the two yellows. Oh, and it's the third orange. That's going in the cutter next. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, that's fine. I thought it was going to fall on the floor, but no. Let's see. I like them both. Maybe these oranges that are coming up will help me choose. That needs a little better weeding in there. There's supposed to be little holes. All right. Let's see if I can do that. I am usually more of a tweezer person for weeding, but I think this is the right tool for stuff this tiny. There we go. Nope, a couple of those are still blocked. Maybe only one. We've been shopping for, not seriously, kind of casually, for a house that'll have a bigger office for me. Because this room is, well, when we bought this house, this wasn't the intent for this room. And my friend helpfully sent me several listings for houses over 100 years old. Not one of those isn't going to be haunted, let me tell you. One of them had a horse hitch outside of it. Like literally the hitching post was still, it was still out there. From, I don't know, the Old West? Oh. Alright. Done with my Pop-Tart. Before the cat noticed. Yes, my cat likes Pop-Tarts. No, he is not normal. This is a tasty soda. I'm gonna miss it when I run out. But that's going to be some tasty water I go to next, because we have good water here. Alright, halfway done with dark orange. If I did this one for my shop, I think I would probably program these to all be the same color on the computer. And then I would cut basically like 4x4 squares and lay one in each quarter of the mat. And then just drag accordingly on the computer. That way I can walk away, go put up laundry, do some other work while it's cutting. I try to keep my labor charge to an hour per card for the complicated ones. And I try to keep it closer to 15 minutes for this style. But obviously doing one of these would take longer than 15 minutes unless I laid it out well. But the way I'm seeing it, I could probably put these in the machine while I'm prepping the greeting card base and the mailer and buying the postage and all that stuff, getting it ready to ship. Slap everything else together and then off we go. All right, my cat medication alarm went off a little bit ago and I forgot until I just looked and saw it's still there now. It was probably about 10 minutes ago. So what's going to happen is I am going to set up, I'm going to set up the next sheet and then go into be right back mode. So this will cut in the background. You won't get to watch it cut. If that's what you're here for, you're out of luck on this one. But when I come back, I will be back. And I really don't think you guys want to listen to my cat shouting at me about her arthritis meds. She has so many opinions, and none of them are polite. But she has many opinions about being able to move freely and play and run and climb, too. She just does not understand that the two are related. The poor dear. Sometimes that's the easy way to weed. Just do that and most of the extra bits come out. But not today. Today, two of them are like still stuck. I'll weed it when I get back. I'm taking care of kitty girl. All right. Next, light orange. I put two yellows over there, so this is definitely my light orange color, not my dark yellow. All right. Always think it through before I grab materials, because it sucks when you're wrong. All right, here we go, and let's get that started. Verify the color. Yep, I'm on the correct page. Go. And all right, my silent viewer, enjoy my Be Right Back music. Where's my Be Right Back music? Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. I am back. Baby cat is medicated. I have, my fingers. All is right with the world. This is the most challenging part of the mandala because those were tiny holes and I have no idea if they cut well. They don't look like they cut well, but this is Encore paper, so maybe I'm wrong. Let's finish. No, let's get this off the mat because then I can finish weeding while I wait for other things to cut. I usually try to do things one thing at a time. But cricketing is not really like one thing at a time. It's more like everything all the time. All right. Really would rather cut here. I'm not gonna. That's more hassle than I need. We're just gonna put it on the mat. Put it on the mat where it doesn't belong. Line it up to the corner where it's actually going to be cut. There we go. It wants the scoring wheel for this. It does not need the scoring wheel. I just need a light mark. This is a great moment for the scoring stylus. We're going to leave it on intricate cut because it's not the end of the world if it does everything twice on this. And I will forget for the next one. I'm not sure how intricate the next one is either. All right. Let's see about weeding this. Can't believe someone designed two thin pieces of that red to nestle near each other. I wonder if they had the idea in mind to do them different shades of red. If it was a large design, that might look cool. But I am not doing a large design. This is 4 inches. Alright, not done with that piece. These are ready. Back to the used pile. Lift that off. Nice. The score line it's kind of shiny compared to what I would expect. Oh, this is the part where I lay out my 2 colors. Alright, this is the part where I grab a handful because I can't get hold of them. Alright. So I kind of can't see the yellow through because I haven't finished weeding it yet, but let's see where we get. That one. I am hoping that tomorrow we will be able to cut the wood for my new paper shelves. We'll see. I've got to charge up the jigsaw and, you know, draw the measurements on the wood and stuff like that. Cardstock for intricate cuts, more pressure, that's fine. I think this is just doing the outline of the leaf. I don't think it's doing any fine cutting. Oh, I had a cat toy. Alright, got some pieces out by that method. Okay. There we go. Brush those aside. I'm just using my weeding tool to make those holes look better, even if they're not quite the shape they were meant to be. I'll be right with you, Cricket. Right. That didn't come out very well, that little spot there. Let's work around everything else and then see what I've got going there. Okay. It's supposed to have 3 little spots. Oh, it does. But that part kind of shredded a little bit. Looks like it took the top layer off. I think it's workable. Okay, let's make sure those dots look good. All right, we're going to lay that over the other one and see what it looks like. Sometimes that's when I notice things look unbalanced. Pretty sure I just only recycled half of those and the rest are going to go up the vacuum later. Oh, that's what I keep hitting. Kitty, why have you left your toy here? There we go. Toy all the way under the desk. Pretty sure that's his emotional support jingle ball, because he doesn't actually play with it, he just lays near it. Alright, on the yellow. Yep, that was just an outline. Nice outline though. Alright, next up. Oh, that wasn't put back away correctly. Here's my green. I put it in correctly too, didn't I? Yep, there it is. Alright, my green I really don't know how to cut except at the top where these cuts are from my last autumn card. So we're going to use the edit feature. Okay. Edit. Looks like about half. I'm going to pull it down to like 3/4 to be sure. There we go. Scoring stylus, more pressure, fine point blade. Still on intricate. That'll be fine. I think it scores twice on intricate also. It's an interesting detail. I'm not convinced of that, but it might. Also, I just realized I've scored for the leaf on a very busy texture, so we'll see if it works. And it totally worked. Nice. So, we are done with the mat for this card. And no, it's not that gluing time yet. It's this gluing time. Let's start here. Leaf is right side up. It goes there, and that makes sure everything is centered the way I want it to be. Here we go. All right, make sure my leaf is still right side up. Look for my score lines. A little hard to see. There's one, there's the other. All right, there we go. Alrighty, let's stack this up and be sure it looks like I think it will. Yeah, I think it does. All right, let's go for it. Let's start with this. Switch to that. Highlight all of this. Center. Bring to front. Here it is. Bring to front. I usually send back. Signing in. Anybody knows how to turn that off? I am all. Everything I've tried just to take it off more. There we go. Let's group that. Now I can see my target. I don't want to over glue, but I also want to be sure this isn't going anywhere. This one I might be inclined to put on my shop at some point. Just for clarification, if you ever see me make something and it's not in my shop, it is probably something I'm willing to make custom. All you have to do is ask. All right. My leaf has the glue pox. Kind of like chicken pox, but you know, less itchy, I suppose. Although I don't know, I had chicken pox twice and they never made me itch. I don't even know what the other kids were talking about. Shingles, on the other hand, that made me itch. Which I've heard it isn't even supposed to do, so go figure. Alright, next layer. And this being textured paper, I know I've got it right because I'm looking at the smoother side, which is the bottom. Let's make sure those look like I think they should. There we go. Alright, oop. Smooth side. And just kind of dot whatever looks like it's gonna peel up on me once this is assembled. When I do these lines, I want a very, very light trickle because I do not want it to squeeze out through the holes. I will not be able to get rid of it once it does that. Alright, cap. Because last night I forgot and that was annoying to get it going again. So I'm going to try to get the stem lined up and the top lined up. And if those two are correct, the rest should come in, but I'm checking them anyway. There we go. Last layer, flip. That's going to be difficult. Okay, I need to just dab those with my fingers. Actually, a lot of this just needs to be dabbed with my fingers, so we're going to just do the wide section of paper with the dots. Now I'm going to just make a pool of glue, probably off camera. It's maybe a pea-sized amount. Like a real pea-sized amount, not the pea-sized amount you use on your toothbrush. Because we all know nobody does that, right? And then I am trying for a very thin layer on some of these other parts. And basically what I'm doing is I'm putting on such a small layer, it's kind of like a glue stick, but without needing to buy another part. And there's glue in those holes. I don't want that there. It's like I got it right across the hole that I patted, but nothing a weeder can't fix. Again, line up the stem, line up the top, verify all the way around. Realize I missed a smidge, try to make it look intentional. There we go. We're going to give that just a moment. I rather like it. All right, let's get it on the card front. Just gonna put, nope, that went off the side. Smeared it back towards the middle and then added a little extra. Okay, now just kind of, good enough. Probably more than good enough, honestly. I probably used too much glue. And then we're gonna lay this so that is there. That is there. Everything is lining up with the score line. Oh, remember that spot I said went over the edge? It went over the edge. Sure anything? No, why would I have one of those? Okay. Looks nice. And now, since this is a greeting card business, not just, you know, cute wall decoration, we're gonna do that to it. Although this would be a nice one to frame. Eek. Went right off the edge. There we go. Of course, they don't make frames this. I guess somebody probably does make frames this size, but you know, I don't know anybody who makes A2 frames. 4.5, 4.25 by 5.5. Kind of an odd shape for a frame. There we go. If somebody made a frame for this, I would frame it. That is really cute. Maybe I need a seasonal decoration in my house. I don't really do seasonal, but I could see myself hanging that on the wall. But then I've just got the seasonal decoration I have to store, and this is why I don't have seasonal decorations in my house. All right. Let's get some things picked up. All right, so now we have that along with this, where we repeated this part of the paper, just the green dot, and this, where we have this and the dotted texture, but a completely different color. I feel like these two might end up in my boxes, whatever, and this one might end up somewhere else. Where? I've got no idea, because I don't know. My mom used to be afraid of sunflowers. She had a bad experience when she was little. She got lost in a field of sunflowers. And she was like, I don't know, 2 when that happened, so it was a whole thing. She never liked them. Okay, let's... Okay, it's getting a little harder to slide these in. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is not what I intended, but I really couldn't decide which autumn cards to make. And now it's time to turn our thoughts to winter. So let's go share. Save. I'm going to turn that off. I'm done with it. You know what? Let's search projects and see if there's an idea. Oh, oops, I forgot to plug my phone back in when I came back from the cab. Soda is well and truly done. Well, no. Winter themed. The stuff to do something like that. I could even make it look like a snow globe. I don't have to use glitter, although I could. I have some cheap glitter paper I got off Amazon that cuts beautifully compared to other brands. Probably not as nice as Encore would, but I haven't bought Encore paper. I could do snowflakes. Oh, I did a project like this for a crafting conference. That's kind of nice. The print and cut, you print it 3 times and stack them, and it gives you this odd layered look, but it's kind of cool. Okay, let's call that idea a maybe. I like the idea of a snow globe. It just sounds fun, and it definitely pushes me to the limits of what I can do. I'm not putting junk in my snow globe, though. I don't want it to actually, like, make a mess if somebody takes it apart. Oh. Well, that was a cute little church. They actually put the cross in themselves. All right. We're not going to be doing things like that because this... We're not doing Christmas themed at all because this is being sold by a very non-sectarian group for a fundraiser. We're going to make sure that anybody would feel comfortable sending these cards. Okay, we like the snow globe idea. Well, I do anyway. Let's start with that. All right. Go back to the canvas. Forgot. We need another card. There we go. Unlock 4.25, 5.5. White paper. This is going to be our snow globe. Maybe with some stuff like around it. I bet I have a paper that would look like, I don't know, some kind of wallpaper. Or I could just do like I did for the spring card and do shapes of winter themed paper. I do have a ton of winter themed paper. If I do one fancy, I'm going to have to do the other one fancy because if they end up in different boxes, I want them to be comparable to each other. This is a tough choice. I could do a generic winter scene, print it out, put a nice little snow globe ring on it, put the clear acetate over it. I really think I'm making this too hard on myself. I like the idea. I will save it for another time. Let's pick up these scraps I didn't use. And it's time to at least somewhat reshelve my cardstock from the last round. Okay, these guys go here, which is now for some reason I don't understand. This also goes that way, but it's kind of wintry. I could use it. These are very autumn themed. Really, I just dropped the same scraps I just picked up. Okay. All right. And those go into the go backs pile. What's that doing over here? Whatever. Away it goes. All right. I think the winter stuff was in this drawer. Yeah. All right. Let's start going through the papers. Obviously, this stuff isn't. And it's small, so let me set it aside by itself. You could see red and blue as wintry colors. That feels more Christmassy. No. Nuh-uh. Not feeling those, although that would be interesting for a springtime. Another time. Ocean. Dang, that's a cool ocean, but she used the same section out of both pieces. And the back is sand, which is really nice. I do a box card that uses like sand looking stuff. It's a very beachy scene. I did one for my dad for Father's Day. It was awesome. Nope. Okay, Halloween-y autumn. Nope. I know what you're gonna say. I love it too. Oh, I could use that maybe. I love this. It is beautiful. It is so wintry feeling, but it also feels like Christmas, and we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna say no to the trees. I know evergreens are kind of wintry. They look lovely in the snow and all that, but we're gonna say no. Not for this project. We've gotten into springy themed stuff. See, that feels winter without being Christmas. Maybe that too. Nope. This is going to make a great card for my grandma someday. Today is not that day. Tomorrow might be. Oh no, that's pinky purpley. Nope. Nuh-uh. Gorgeous, but no. Where are all the snowflakey? You know what? I wonder if they were in the other drawer after all. Or I just haven't gotten down that far. This is still an inch thick. Alright, now I'm going to start flipping through it in a way that you kind of can't see, but dude, it's out of hand. Oh, birds! I so need to use that on a beachy card. This sack is going to be completely out of hand if I don't just flip through it gently. Oh, there's some autumn leaves I didn't even see before. Didn't make it down that far before I found plenty of options. Blue wood. I love it. More wood tone that I didn't know was down here. Red and... Okay, let's pull these out. These are red striped, red dotted, and then there's yellow dotted on the other side, which is kind of terrible, but the red dotted isn't bad. Some grays, teal, woolly things. I must have seen those snowflakes in the other drawer. Okay, this could go with everything else I'm doing. These could go right back where they came from. Boy. This is why I need more organizing in here. We just going on hope this is going to fit back in the drawer. All right, let's scooch our little selves across the room. Back in the drawer. It kind of fits. I'm just kind of going to close it. All right, now we need to pull the other drawer out again. And now I can take the time to fix whatever went wrong yesterday. That this stuff wasn't sliding back in. There it is. And see? Okay, this is blue dots, but not textured. There's some snowflakes. That just looks... I'm pretty sure my grandma had that on her couch. I don't think that's the right look for this. Okay. Purpley scraps. Love the plaids. I love the tartans. They're not the right look for this project. I'm gonna have to think of something to do with those now. Keep having to flip these over because so many of my friends' old papers were double-sided. I've seen this print go by in multiple colors now. She must have liked it. For example, there it is again in green. I think this looks like something she drew. It feels like something hand-drawn. Maybe she didn't draw it, but somebody might have. I have no idea what she did with it. What's the other side? Oh, green. It is the greenest green that ever greened. There. All right, let's switch and start laying things on that. Okay. Nice gradient. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. Bunch of star papers. I could see stars as a winter theme. I mean, you know, a nice crisp cold night with stars every which way. Oh, who am I kidding? I live too close to a big city. Lots of purpley things. I think this friend liked purple or did cards for somebody who did. No. Feels too springy. And then here's some... Oh, I recognize this. No, I have enough. Well, no, I like it. And I could see solid blue being a thing for this card. All right. Let's go put this stack back. We have some nice choices. Oh, okay. Budge up, budge up. Everything's got to fit in. There we go. What else do I have? 12 by 12 white, single side print. And then I pull it out and you know what it isn't? Single side print. This is some A4 paper that I got that I don't use that often because it is white core. So when you cut into it, it shows. I usually use that for kids' craft. I need to design cousin's kids some Valentines out of that. Okay, so let's take a look at our choices. Blue linen texture, these don't all look the same blue, but I could work them together. This is kind of a brownish gray with circles, but they're gold circles, so they kind of feel wintry, cool. We're not using that side. We're not using that side. I like that side. I like that. I like this, but I didn't see it anywhere, I swear. That's just disappointing. And then I kind of like this. It's just craft paper with dots on it. So this is what I got to work with. And you know what time it is now? Big book of ideas time. All right. Let's, these are organized by color. What do you got in blue? You'll notice I'm not looking in the colored section anymore. They were pretty abysmal, actually. Could do something like that. It's very simple. Do like Hello Winter on it. Sometimes a subtle stitched border is exactly the finishing touch you need to make a card feel complete. How are they stitching the borders on these? Are they literally putting greeting cards in a sewing machine? Because I'm not doing that. I don't even like the jaunty layout. Not for this project anyway. I do like it. Well, that's a nice way to show off several papers and not have any of them be overwhelming. I might like that one. I've done this one. I did this one for, I don't know, summer? I did it. It is done, and I did it. Also a nice way to use up a bunch of busy papers, but mine aren't that busy. And that's a similar concept, but with even busier segments. Or, well, they've used ribbon, but I would use busier segments of paper. All right. They have used carefully color coordinated here, and here they've used... All right. Maybe I could do a winter cutout to stick on it. Okay, and how did they do it here? Kind of the same concept. I like that they just put the word happy on this. Like, you could make anything into that. You know, there are some snowflake fonts in it. Let's take a look. All right, we will work with just the generic word text. Snow cookies, snow days. Does that actually have... It does. We could make it big and just say hi. That. We could make it medium and say hello winter. That's not medium. That's not medium either, but if I turn the card sideways, it would be. Let's ungroup to lines because those lines are too far apart. I could see that. Probably should be done in Encore because that's going to be a pretty fussy cut. Well, let's rotate this. I was trying to do some more upright cards, but let's rotate this because I think all of my autumn ones were on the sides too. Maybe a little smaller. Let's do this in size 90. Let's do this right side up after all. I will not enter just there. Let's see what I can do with that. They used 4 stripes. I don't know. We'll see. Book goes away. All right. So here are my best choices. This is not big enough for those designs. This might not be. Oh, it is. Barely, but it is. I feel like if there's snowflakes on there, I need snowflakes in the card. And those aren't quite the right shade. Those aren't either. But what if I split them with... Could do that. It would need to be large, but this can be small. That's gonna be overpowering. What if I split... I could go nuts and split it with a little red. It doesn't feel right. Could echo that I really feel like this is a stripe this direction over the whole mess. Yeah, it is. Okay, so this is the wrong piece. I forgot that blue was in there. It feels too busy. This is Encore, isn't it? That is the wrong shade of Encore. I just put all of my dotted paper back in no idea where in this stack. Okay. You know what? This dotted paper should go somewhere else. Let's move it higher up in my organizer. I think that's all of it and then some. Yeah. All right. There's the rest of the stuff. I'll throw it over there. Oh, I just threw paper on my cat. I'm sorry, baby. I'll get it back in a minute. You slept through that? Oh, maybe I'll just leave it on here then. Okay. Got most of the dotted texture back out. Okay, we've got the dotted texture out. We've rejected that scrap for being too small. What if I didn't do text and used this as a fussy cut, just cut a piece out and put it on another color and use that instead of a text box? And what if I used that? Feels right. Okay, let's set my dots aside and try something a little different. It's the wrong shade. This feels too busy. This is not, the reds are not the right look for this. White or gray would be the right look. I didn't see any in there that was just a nice texture. This isn't the right look either. I do have Encore in white and gray. It gives texture. Saw it in that stack. Let's pull this stack back out again. See, this is why these take forever. Maybe I didn't see it in the stack. This isn't looking familiar. For black. That's actually kind of a maybe. All right, these are all nope. Let's take a look at this. This is supposed to be a theater theme. Kind of a pretty textured gray. That might work. It's completely a different blue. That's not gonna work. Okay, back it goes. Back the stack goes. Let's go back to drawer number 1. That barely closes. because it's a mess. What have I got down? I said down at the bottom there were some grays that didn't look right. What if they did look right? What if they don't look right? Good. Oh, hey. Okay, it's a little busy, but hear me out. Let me see what I can do. All right, it's just getting greener this direction. I think I have left behind all of the colors I could possibly work with. This back in the drawer. All right, here we go. Back in the drawer. Oh, that was my printer. Yes, baby, I see. I dropped paper on you. Sorry about that. Also not a good match for this project. Okay. So what I pulled, this even calls itself Warm, Cold Days, Warm Heart. There's like Christmas or winter themed words stuck on the edge of this. Okay, so that's a maybe. These dots are, that's a little busy. That doesn't feel right, especially next to that other print. That is peach. But this side isn't. But it also doesn't feel right if I use this. All right, let's set these aside and see where I get to now. All right, I like the idea of using this as my in place of a word. What if it was like that? That doesn't feel right to me. What if it was only 3 colors? No rule says it has to be 4. 3. Nope, still not the right color. Yes, I know what I'm going to do. We're going to do 3 colors. We're going to do this as a band across them, as if a ribbon, and then we're going to put one of those deer on it, like a gift tag style. This is what we're going to do. And we're not using the red. That red is going to go on a different card. It feels more Christmas than winter. Okay, so ditching the hive for now. You know what? I can make that again. It's not hard. Let's get some squares out. That should get me a good start. Okay, this is going to be blue snow, so that's going to be that color. This is going to be that is not gray. We're going to color it gray anyway. That is most definitely not gray, though. This is going to be that darker blue paper. There. This is going to be my brown paper. It's just hard to look at them. I'll lighten it up a little bit. There we go. This is going to be my deer, so we're just going to do it white. And then we're probably going to outline the deer. So let's do an offset already. 0.1, because I tend to like the look of a 0.1. I don't have a color. You know what, black will be fine for now. And we're going to have to cut that deer by hand to fit. So we're probably going to have to cut it and measure it and then figure out how to cut the offset. But for now, let's worry about this. Blue texture. You know what? Let's make these the same. Or nearly the same. Let's do this. All right, let's start giving it sizes. 5.5 by undo by 1.25. 5.5 by 1. I'm going to put that over here. Okay, so this is 1, 2 1/4. And we're shooting for 4 1/4, which means this is just 2 by 5.5. And that is not blue, it is gray. Then we want this, use my tools. 1.25, height 1.25. I think that'll give it a nice look. Bring the front. It's the front. This is going to be my deer print paper. Ooh. Bring the front. And we're just going to like put it here. What color do I want behind my deer? This is where I go screen desk again. This is what we've got. I think we go the dark blue. I like that. It's not going to be touching the dark blue that's already down. We are not going to be cutting that way. We are going to cut it manually. That's going to be a hassle. That's okay. We'll get through it. Okay. Save. Wasn't going to make 2 cars tonight, but let's go for it. Make. So this gets set aside. Side selected. We're not going to be cutting the white out. So we start with, okay, gray, brown, light blue, dark blue, and then we do my hand cuts. I can deal with that. Continue. So I've made my stack. I called them out. Gray, brown, light blue, dark blue. Sometimes I do them in reverse order and then flip. Like put the gray down and then the next one and then whew, so the gray's on top. And we're just going to line this up. And mush it. And hit my camera again because that's always great for viewing. All right, this is light cardstock. Really isn't sticking well. I better tend this one as it goes through. I'm going to reach in while it is not in motion. I'm giving very light pressure, and I shouldn't have done that, but Oh, my screen isn't set that way. Heh. Okay, so you didn't see me just stick my hand into a Cricut. I definitely didn't do that. This thing has tremendous power. It absolutely won't stop. Do not stick your hand into it unless you absolutely know what you're doing, and don't mind that you're taking a big old risk with your hands. Just putting that out there. The first time I used a Cricut, I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is like strong. After that, well, I know when I can get away with something and when it's better to just let it ruin the material. All right, here we go. Piece number 2. I love that my cat is sleeping under my desk. He's really he's still a kitten, but he's enormous. So he's like full-sized cat under my desk that I have to work around. I can't let him sleep on my desk. Every other cat I've ever had has slept in one of the Kallax cubes, the cubbies in my desk, on a little blanket. I cannot let him do that because he attacks all the things. Because he is a kitten. And he has no understanding that when you're 6 pounds, you're really not a kitten anymore. But try telling him that. You may notice I've turned my mat upside down. I did have the hanging hook on the side I was working on, and now I don't. It's because that side is starting to feel less sticky. This isn't even that heavy paper, but and there I go rolling the camera again. All right, light cardstock, but this is a little heavier than light. So we're gonna lift the corner when it comes out of the machine. Just be sure it's separated. Some things I've learned to trust, others I've learned verify. I'm also holding the back end of the mat and the paper together gently, just in case the paper gets any funny business going. All right, let's see. Did it cut? Yeah, it cut. Gimme. All right, cast that aside. There we go. We're done with that. We are going to plot this. The easiest thing to do would be to cut it with a scissor. That's how this is going to go on the card, more or less. Okay, easy would be to cut it with a scissor, but I don't want the lines on the front. If I trace, here's my light board. Cricut sells a light board I think the last time I price checked it, it was $100. I love the idea, but I don't have $100. Crayola sells a light board. It is probably not as good. It has some weird texture to it. It's kind of like looking into a microwave, honestly, with the little dots, perforations. It is probably not as easy to use as the Cricut one. Alright, it's cough drop time. But you know what it is? It was 17 bucks on sale right before Christmas a couple of years ago. I used to have a 6-inch ruler. It would have been perfect for this. Let me just take a moment and look around where I put it. Oh, stretchy kitty, because you weren't big enough. Huh. Nope. Let's go look over here. I got... Oh. Sworn I have a 6 over here somewhere. Nope, nope. What do I have that I could use instead of a ruler? I wonder if this would work. Let's give it a try. Ooh, scrap paper in a color that I happen to think is not going to work for most of my design. One side is cut funny, but this corner is a true corner. All right. It is too bright in my room to see through this mat. So let's go for a walk and get the remote to this room's... Ouch. Stepped on a cord. Get the remote for the overhead light. Still too bright. Okay, let's try that. Let me check on a thing. All right, that's fine. Let's try turning off my key light. Okay, apologies if the view isn't that great. I need to be able to see what I'm doing. I want a standing deer, I think. Or at the very least a jumping one, but not like fully splayed out jumping. The best standing deer's here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is kind of get a feel for where I want this to be. All right. Pencil. Now I'm going to flip it over and kind of just pick a spot. Okay, if I want the deer to be standing well, I should do that. Let's draw a little line. Let's draw a line this way. And that deer's antlers are pretty tall. So we're going to come up to like here. And now we're going to stop and hold this up and take a look at what we've drawn. I can work with that. And that gives me more of a rectangular shape. Let's measure and see it on the screen. That is about 1 inch by, we'll call it 1 3/4. So we're going to do this. This is probably going to be a nightmare, but we're going to do it. Okay, 1.75 tall, 1 wide. This becomes 1.95 tall, 1.2 wide. I think they self-centered. Maybe more like that. If I do the jumping deer, it's going to be a bigger spot. Maybe that's what I really want, even if it means I'm mincing this paper up weirdly. Let's do the jumping deer. So the jumping deer is, I can see it through here. I kind of, you know what, I'm just going to draw. We're going to start this line here. And if anybody's popped in that I didn't notice, apologies for the weird lighting. I have had to turn off my light so I can see, because, well, I have a $17 light board, and that's just the situation I'm in. My line didn't make a line. I must have put a line on the card I'm using as a ruler. This is where I get into trouble with this, is I'm looking at this, and I gotta cut here, but there is most definitely deer feet going with me. It doesn't look lined up, but it is. Okay, let me hold this up to my overhead. Oh, looks terrible on my overhead light. Okay, these deer feet will come with me. I don't think it'll be a problem. The bounding deer aren't any better. And really the standing deer are gonna do that too. Okay, let's measure this. This is about 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. Okay, 1.75 wide, 1.95 wide. Grab the group, reposition. That looks nice. Maybe lower this even. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Let's bring my key light back on. So what we're going to do is cut this, but we're going to be sure it's as squared off as we get, because this is part of why I drew it on the back. This, all right. Set my cheapy little light board aside. So, I don't believe I can just, maybe I can just reach in there and hack away at it if I move. I don't think I can. Okay, where's my ruler? So, my line is here. I want it a little closer into the machine. A little further. Okay. It's going to cut ever so slightly inside of where I want it to. That looks correct. And I'm going to try, because this is where the blade starts. I've got a mark for that. What? You gotta be kidding. Elgato looks fine. Maybe it's his Elgato that's low. Maybe it isn't mine at all. Alright, so we've got a line. Now, I can see, plain as day, that cut line is crooked. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to lay this on the paper, line it up with the paper, and then what? This tells me I need to slide the paper that way. This is a little challenging because the ruler doesn't fit where I want it to be. Also because, well, I'm doing a ridiculous thing. Let's bring that back a smidge more. That looks correct. Now we're going to bring this down to where that is and slice just beyond that line. And now we're going to do the other side because I can. Okay. Everything looks lined up. Oh, that's not lined up. That's now that the paper's fully in the right spot. Yeah, that's what I thought. It moved quite a bit. This is not a card I would be willing to do again. Just saying. All right. Now, which side isn't? This side isn't cut yet. So we're going to turn it like this. You know what? We're going to turn it like this so I've got less of it poking at me. Okay. I liked that spot in general. That is lined up with the paper. Paper is butted up to the top. Lined up with everything. Okay, now... my ruler keeps falling into a little gap. And the problem with it doing that is that then it's all crooked. Okay, that... everything looks like it's lined up. Oh, it is close enough. Okay. Here's hoping. Yep. Okay, we got a square. And it's the deer I wanted. There are feet. There are more feet than I had hoped for. So we're gonna try to trim not that close to the butt, but maybe that close. Just to cut down on the foot illusion. Looking, there's no illusion, it's a foot. What do you want from me? All right. Now, okay, how big is this? Oh, this is going to be easier to measure by centimeters. That's 4.1 centimeters. That was loud. All right. Oh, 0.1 inch in cm. What am I trying to add? About 1/4 of a centimeter? Please give that to me in millimeters. Let me be sure I'm not messing up the conversion. 2.5 millimeters, okay. So, this is 4.1. We want to create a box that's about 4.3.5. We do not want to slice into the paper any more than we have to. 4.3.5. That's here. Let me just give it a little notch in the margin. And then, no, that's not. I want 4.10 plus 2.5, plus 5. So we want 4.6. Let's again give it a little nudge in the margin so I can see where the cut line would be. Yes. We want 4.6. Of course, this is right-handed. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just slice it to 5. Now we're going to turn. And realize we don't have a measurement on that side. We have got to, what? Cut it this way? Yes, we can cut it this way. 4.6. Oh, hell. I forgot to cut that off. Okay, well, I have my proof of concept. Let's see if I can get this back to 4.6. And just put it like that. Should be accurate. That was dangerous, by the way, just closing it on my hand and assuming my hand wouldn't be in the way. That was not a good choice. All right. Let's push that up and use this as a ruler. 4.6, okay. 4.6. Why does this look crooked? It is crooked. Why is it crooked? This is why I have problems with this cutter. This is not a... Maybe it is a straight cut. It looked crooked on that. That's perfect sideways and not perfect up and down. Okay. And now we're just starting to mince up enough that I'm just getting annoyed. All right, let's... Let's just eyeball this. We're gonna cut it like here. I'm gonna put that in there, center it. cut. There we go. We got a tag. That was ridiculous. Moving on. This is why I'm not willing to do this as a greeting card, like just because to put on my shop. Okay. First things first. Pencil away. Stamp, I think, even though I was still using this color for... I used this color for autumn. I wanted to change color each season, but I think the right choice is, well, I could do gray. Let's do gray. We'll do awkward gray. Let me get my stamp cleaner real quick. I just use rubbing alcohol. I'm not supposed to do that. Eventually it's going to dry out the rubber in the rubber stamp. But I get this as Azazel and I can order another one next time there's a sale. There we go. Alright, kind of centered, kind of jaunty. Press! There we go. Looks good. Kind of greenish gray today. Must not have cleaned it well enough. Whatever. Back in the stack it goes. And I stamped it wrong. This is a right side up card. Okay, we're going to set that aside for a different project. Take out the paper cutter of doom again. Oh, nope, that's used stock. Flop out my extender. Okay, this is where I gotta push the camera back. Sorry about that, but do it. All right, so we're gonna mark where the blade will go at 5.5. Turn it around. Measure it exactly 5.5 again. Mark where the blade will go. Split the difference. Cut. Now, I have investment money. Started saving when I decided to start a business. I just buy myself a different cutter. Buy myself a better cutter. Buy the one that I saw that one lady using at a craft conference. I saved her flyer because I liked her project. I bet you anything she would tell me what brand it was. Maybe I'll do that. All right. You know what? I'm going to put these in my shelf weirdly so that makes me go, what the heck, and look at them and notice that I pre-stamped one a certain direction so I don't accidentally pre-stamp it on both sides. I like the gray still, so we're going to go with it, even if it is greenish. Okay, but this is this style of card. We're going to label it on this side. All right. There we go. Probably the next version of the stamp I order is going to have like my whole business name on it. But in my defense, all I had done was drawn my logo the night that I ordered this. Because, well, the sale was ending in like 3 hours and I just wanted to make use of it. We're going to start at this edge with the light blue. I don't detect any particular right way up. Let me give myself a minute to verify. Yep, no particular right way up. This paper is by Hot Off the Press ink, which I've never heard of before. I've probably used them before because, you know, back in the olden days, I did a little scrapbooking. But I couldn't afford these kinds of materials, so I might have just heard of it and been like, oh, I wish I could afford 25 cents a page. There we go. I should show pictures of these to my friend who gifted me all this random paper. Wait, stop, look. That definitely doesn't have a right side up. And if it does, I've already cut it sideways probably. Because I kind of feel like that's right side up. We're going to put it on this way and we're not going to worry about it. All right. Great. Okay, confirmed with the screen. This is the next color in the row. I think this is my first card that I'm like fully covering, not leaving a border on. I usually prefer borders because if I F it up, the border kind of saves me. But just felt like the right thing to do for this project, so here we are. My friend reminds me of something I noticed. It was an online conference for organizing your craft space, your card making space in particular. And I noticed most card makers have things. I have materials to make things. If I need a little bow or a ribbon across the front of my card, I get out paper and I cut one. My friend gave me all kinds of three-dimensional objects that you're apparently supposed to stick to greeting cards, which I don't want to do because then I have to buy fancier envelopes that are not as cheap, and that makes a less affordable product for a customer. And my products are already kind of high because, well, you see the labor involved. So I don't use them, I just let my nieces stick them on their phones and stuff. All right, we're looking for kind of the bottom of this being at the 1/3 mark. Yeah, whatever, that looks good. All right, let's stack these guys together and make sure they look good. That looks correct. When I use the Cricut cutter, it kind of gives it like not just a cut edge, but a pushed down and cut. So I get like a folded edge. And since I cut that on the back, it was folded up. So now I'm like, yeah, let's rub that down a little bit. All right, so now we're gonna stick that kind of like that. All right, we'll go with that. That burlap, or the craft paper ribbon is a little higher than I probably should have made it. I probably should have, oh, I could offset it. It doesn't have to be straight in the middle. We could do it like that. Yeah. Let's do it like that. There we go, one winter themed card. I like that. All right. All right, I think I'm done with cards for the night. Let's group. Oh, it is grouped? No, it isn't grouped. Group it together. Enter card with dear text box. I will see you